Hello guys, welcome to Tech and Tech. We owe today's video subject to this dumbass named Matthew Jones 39, and he went on a rampage on some of my videos commenting dumbass things. Such as on my video about Modern Warfare, he said that it was bait. Now I don't know what he took as bait because the title of the video is literally the first sentence I said in the video. And every picture I put up in the thumbnail has been used in the video if you have paid attention. Now, you don't even need to pay attention. If you watch the video, you know that all the pictures have been used. In fact, I use them from like the same gallery. Anyway, now he went on another video of mine and commented that how are technicals going to invade another country. Now, this guy doesn't understand how flexible technicals are because he said with machine guns. Now, this is the most dumb thing I've ever heard someone write in a YouTube comment. It's not like I can hear YouTube comments, but I have ever saw someone put this thing in a YouTube comment. It's just so dumb. I don't understand how this guy thought of this. Anyway, as I said, this guy doesn't understand how flexible technicals are. In fact, let me show you how superior and how great technicals are compared to other weapons. In fact, a technical with a dushka on top costs way less than $100,000, while an Abrams tank costs $9 million, meaning that per every one Abrams you can build 90 technicals. Now I think 90 to 1 is definitely a pretty great ratio. Now another thing is that these things are way cheaper to maintain than modern weapons such as tanks. In fact, these guys are literally just pickup trucks which a single civilian with minimum wage can afford to maintain. So that's how cheap their maintenance is, meaning that they also not only the fact that they can move through, they're extremely fast and they're extremely cheap, they're extremely easy to maintain. And they're not like if you get your logistical infrastructure hit, it will not halt your assault because these things, as I said, are pretty easy to maintain. The only thing you need to give them is bullets and just gas. This is the only thing they need in order to continue their invasion. Meaning that definitely rough terrains, which caused many armies to lose many soldiers, will be extremely easy to bypass. In fact, technicals or pickup trucks, in fact Toyotas, are known for the fact that they can climb rough terrain pretty easily. So it's out of the question that tanks cannot move through rough terrain as good as technicals. Now, in fact, another thing, I said technicals are extremely flexible, but as I said, these guys have multiple superiorities to tank. First of all, is a strength in numbers. Now, this, as I said, if you have an Abrams tank, you can build 90 technicals using the same price you put up for the Abrams tank. In fact, I prefer to have 90 technicals than to have one Abrams because those 90 technicals are going to eat the Abrams alive. But another thing that they have, and they're extremely superior to it against tanks, is a strength in strength. How you might just be confused. How is something going to be both superior in numbers and superior in strength? Of course, technicals. As I said, this guy doesn't understand how flexible these things are. I say this for the third time in this video. Anyway, this guy doesn't understand that there is not only machine guns that you can put on top of these technicals. There are also light artillery, heavy artillery, and of course light rocket launchers, which can be extremely effective weapons against armor, tanks, aircraft, anything that you may imagine your enemies has. If they are attacking the infantry, then you have yourself a dushka that you can put on the technical, and you can basically just maneuver around and you know how you have a wheat field and you have the sickle and you just go in the field and start plowing the wheat. This is exactly what a technical with a dushka could do to an infantry regiment. The second thing is, if an enemy has an armored wave approaching you, you can easily arm your technicals with rocket launchers or heavy artillery in order to leave a pile of ashes from the enemy's army of tanks. And also, another thing that they're mostly known for is their speed. These things are way faster than tanks, and as I said, they can climb rough terrain pretty easily. Which, due to this, they can be perfect weapons for blitzkrieg, or which is just basically German for a lightning strike or lightning war, which means pretty fast warfare that you just like invade your opponent before your opponent even understands that he's being invaded. These things are the perfect weapon as they're extremely light, cheap, and they can maneuver pretty quickly, and they are pretty adaptive to terrain and weapons. Meaning that like no matter what your enemy throws at you, you can easily defect it with a single technical. In fact, let's say you have a helicopter, an army helicopter. What is the most thing that takes it to destroy? You just have multiple rockets. In fact, you can put rocket launchers on the back of your technical in order to be able to plow air forces. Now, this thing allows you to have, these technicals will allow you to have lots of strength. In fact, the only thing that caused technicals not to become a war crime and a weapon of mass destruction is because there was not much budget put into producing technicals. Because, governments just prefer tanks. Because I don't know why, but governments really like pretty expensive things rather than pretty cheap things that do literally the same thing, if not more effective. In fact, like an Abrams tank has lots of limitations. In fact, it can carry limited supplies, like limited ammunition, and it can only carry a selected caliber of gun because it will reduce its speed and it's not like it won't function well on its turret. But technically, it's extremely adaptive. You can just put you have this this stick thing that holds up your weapon. If you change that, put something heavier, you can arm whatever you want on that technical. In fact, these things not only can carry extremely dangerous weapons, these can also carry equipment. In fact, one of the things in Ukraine war is that the Ukrainians are using drones to attack Russian tanks. And the Russians actually saw this and they thought to themselves, why don't we just equip jammers so that we can jam turrets that come near our tanks in order to be able to make sure they won't kill our tanks as easily. You get close, the electrics on your drone get deactivated. You can put these things on the back of a technical and have a mobile jammer on the field that can quickly maneuver wherever the drone goes. In fact, one of the most important technologies on Russian tanks is their trophy system, because it can intercept incoming rockets and incoming drones with two modes, being soft attack and hard attack. With the soft attack, it just deploys a smoke screen so that the rocket loses the thermal sight of the weapon and basically misses. But the other hard strike is when this doesn't work and it has to use pellets in order to destroy the rocket. Now, I don't know how many of these trophy systems are fit in a Russian tank, but I'm pretty sure way more of these trophy systems can be put on a technical. Besides that, if you think electronic jammers won't work on technicals, you can equip these with cages. It's not like the tanks, because when you put cages on them, it causes their speed to reduce. It's not the same for a technical. In fact, technicals are just pickup trucks. They are made to lift heavy weight. In fact, a cage won't decrease their ability to move as much as it does for a tank. Meaning that even if you don't trust jammers, you can just make a cage on the top of this technical of yours in order to make it indestructible by drones. Another thing is that the gunner on the vehicle is extremely vulnerable. This is the main flaw of the technical, which in fact makes multiple governments choose the tank over this technical. But it can be solved pretty easily. Have you ever seen juggernauts? Have you ever seen how tough and big their armor is? Have you ever saw that bullets can't even do shit to this thing? Well, that's exactly what you can do. You can just put juggernaut armor, you can just give juggernaut armor to the gunner so that he's no longer vulnerable to enemy fire, at least light enemy fire. Because this guy can then go on and plow the fields of enemy infantry, enemy armor with ease, because shrapnel and bullets, small arms bullets, are not going to do much to him. So he can just, as I said, plow the field of enemy tanks. In fact, another thing that you can do with technicals is put extra armor in them. Another bad thing about technicals is that their armor isn't very practical. IEDs, grenades, they can easily destroy these technicals. While, as I said, pickup trucks are made to lift heavy weight, meaning that you can just put up extra armor on these vehicles in order to make sure that they survive way more than one shot. And also, these things, as I said, are pretty effective at moving. So you can form ambushes using these vehicles, meaning that their only usefulness is not in going into blitzkrieg with your enemy and invading them before they have time to resist. You can just invade them when they are resisting, because you can just, like, here is the enemy army, are your technicals. They go in over here and they draw their fire, while just like as few as two technicals flank them and then start firing from the back. And then we all know what happens when your regiment starts taking fire from back. Anyway, let's not make this video pretty long. I hope that Matthew Jones has understood why technicals are extremely good weapons. But anyway, forget about that. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the war bell to be notified of the rest of the wars that will occur on the channel later. Thank you for watching again, and stand by for the next video.